Hi guys, here we are. So this is another design talk, and I'll just waiting for people to come. But the most important thing I would like to say is that we are going to talk about some common mistakes that a lot of people sometimes make already when they are students. Okay, design students, and then they make the same mistakes also when they start to become real designers and and as long as they become real designers, they develop their careers, just like it happened to me. They become design managers or design team leaders, design managers, director. And sometimes, believe me, those mistakes keep on being repeated. They are repeated not very often, but the thing is that the high risk is that those mistakes will be with you during a long period of time and might hurt you in your development as a designer. Therefore, I think it's much better if someone from the inside of the car design community world will tell you a little bit which are those mistakes and those attitudes. So that's what will be our main topic today. Besides, I would like to know from you if you can write to me in chat if you agree that I will become more consistent with those design talks on Friday, because this would be the best perfect day for me. Because as you know, on Tuesday I have the live sketching section always on my channel. Then Wednesday and Thursday I have the online interactive sketching session with real students with who I interact, and this one is different because it's not on YouTube. It's something that is not free. But if you want information, it's very simple. Write to my email, Luciano Bove, all attached at yahoo.com, and I will explain to you eventually which is the cost, which is very small, of course, and how to participate. But if you okay, so it would be nice if you can tell me whether you are happy that this design talks it's done on Friday, and we will of course talk all those subjects which not many people talk about, but that are very very important to make sure that you guys think, especially when you are in school. What does it mean really to manage your school career until you become a real designer? And if you do it well in school in terms of managing yourself and your career and your attitude, I am sure that you will do much, much better than the other people that start the design career without knowing certain things or without having had the chance that someone from the inside would give some helps. All right. So now we are 7 people, 6 people. We just wait a little bit because I said was studying at 5. I mean at 6 here in Europe, 6 in the afternoon. So we are just missing few minutes. At the meantime, if you guys have some particular question, curiosity, you can write to me in the chat. I have it under my eyes, and I will be very happy to answer you. I will be very happy. Anyway, anybody already checked my ebook, the car sketching ebook on www.lulu.com? If you are interested in a very nice and cheap ebook, step by step, with 75 illustrated pages, with several tutorials from exterior to interiors, you know, to illustrations and everything else, you can always go and check it out. So, when we are students, okay, we start our career as a student in car design, but also in industrial design, with an incredible, happiness, because it's like a dream that comes true. And in a way, it is true. It is a dream that comes true. But one thing that we have to assume and digest, therefore understanding the importance of the fact that you are into a design school, and therefore into the beginning of a small design community, is that you must be aware of how you manage your life as a design student since the beginning until you get out of school and you get your diploma, your bachelor, or your master in transportation design. So it's very important that you don't behave just like any students would do in a public school in any country, but that you really think of that design path in school as the beginning, of your real future designer career. We have a question from Shubham. Sir, why bachelor degrees is so expensive to pursue? It's true. That's a good question, and I know because also in my time it was very expensive. I went to Art Center College of Design. Therefore, I understand your question. Because all the design schools that have very good, how can I say, a very good organization, good teachers, good programs, good methods, have teachers and personnel that comes from the real design world. And those are private design schools. They are not public. There are some public universities that will teach you, or small colleges that will teach you a bit of industrial design, and some industrial design departments that are connected to an orientation to car design, but they will not have car designers teaching there. Therefore, those car designers and these specialized people that come from the real world, that go to school every day to teach, we had to pay them. So this is a classical, this is a classical thing. It's just like other private schools in economy, or in law, or management organization, or business administration, that we have so many around the world, almost in every country. They are basically private because they ask real professionals that to go there, and those professionals sign a contract as teachers, and of course you had to pay them. And to pay them, there is a tuition. That's why it's expensive. Then car design is particularly expensive because it's very, very rare. It's very rare to be a car designer today, but also many years ago, it's a rare thing. It's not so common. So you have to understand that the rarest it's the thing, higher value it has. Okay. It's been 2 years now. I am trying to get admissions, but I have stepped back because of mine. I'm very sorry, Shobham. I don't know if you tried IAAD or IED in Italy. Probably you did, because those Italian schools in Europe, they are a little cheaper than USA or other design university around the world. You could, because the country's different economical situation, and therefore that's why they are cheaper. Or maybe you could try in Bangalore, India. I don't know if you are from India. High dispatches. You could try to check Strat College Bangalore, which is it's a new French design school that opened up few years ago in Bangalore, and it's doing really, really well. I know them. They are really serious. Now I don't know how much does it cost for the Indian, how can I say, average, but I think you might try. So would you provide tutorials on clay modeling in the future? Okay, dispatch. I'm thinking about that because I have a very good friend that is a clay modeler, a master, and he would like to do something with me. So I think we will do it. We will probably be live together very soon. So that's a good thing, and I would like to open up also this clay modeling thing because it's very artistic. So clay modeling is, for me, it's like freehand sketching, which is very important. and we will talk about that for sure. Soon to come. I just have to organize it correctly, really. Hi, Mr. Mercury. I'm fine. So I would like to go back now. We are 10 people. Let's go back to the beginning, to the topic of this design talk, which is the mistakes to avoid already when you are in design school. So I would like to give you a sort of how can I say a sort of understanding of when you are students, okay, that period of time, then when you will be starting to be a young designer, so into a design team, and then what happens when you will move from that to design management, because as you know, the designer career is not just sketching and making nice pictures or Photoshop stuff, working on your projects, but it's also a development of your path, okay, through the years, of course, and see how you can develop your career into team leading until design management. Why not a design director, which is probably the aim, the goal of many of us. Uh, how to get admission? Alice, you have to talk to the school. Art Center has so many channels on internet between YouTube, Instagram, their website. You need of course as a base a good entry portfolio. So that's the advice I can give you. Hi, Policius. Oh, thank you for Kiger. Yes, but I am not into that project. Okay, there are colleagues of mine that have been extremely talented. All of them, the whole team, complete, full team, from the first one to the last one. Okay, so when we are in school, we have to understand that we are in entering into a working dimension. It's not a scholastic dimension. You have to accept that. When you get to design school, you have to think that this is the, how can I say, the pre-prep program or pre-professional program before you will be really working. And therefore, it is extremely strategic from your point of view, but also from the school, to make sure that you do those days and those years really well. But when I say well, it's not just because you improve your skills, okay, or stuff like that, but also because you are able to be as professional as you can. And when I say professional, means I mean the discipline. I often talk about discipline. Discipline is very important. You have to make sure that you have a method that you will learn in school, and then you take that method inside of yourself, so that it can become your own method. And of course, because you are different from another student or other students, you will transform all that knowledge, and you will make it your own knowledge, okay, that you will nurture day by day. But what is very important in this phase, this step of your life as a student, it's really to behave almost as if you were already a designer within a real designer team. So to do that, you have an attitude to acquire in school. And this means that you have to be humble, which means that when your teacher, that would be almost like your manager, gives you critique, you have to understand, absorb the critique, and don't react like a little kid that is blessed simply because somebody said that his drawing was not good. No, you have to listen and understand why your drawing was not good or your proposals were not good, so that you can go home, relax, think about that critique, that is always a constructive critique, that it's made to push you to be better, to be a better student. Therefore, you think about it and then you act, which means that you have to correct, you have to apply some corrections. You have to put yourself in discussion, all right? And don't think that everything you did because you like your stuff, it's perfect. Especially at the beginning, that will never be perfect. First of all, perfection does not exist. But the biggest mistake you can make, and this is the first mistake I tell you to do, not to make, is that you fall in love with your idea. And therefore, anybody is there to tell you, but don't you think that the front end doesn't look good, or that this part it's already seen, or that you should be a little bit more modern, that you take all those critiques in a negative way. So don't fall in love with your first ideas. Remember that design is a development process. Therefore, we have several ideas, and that's fine, but those ideas must be developed. And to develop an idea, usually in the real world, we do it within a team. We have some colleagues that will tell us that maybe this detail or that front end or that section or that surface, you could make it even better if you would do it like that. And then you have to listen to that. Maybe you will not do it, but listen to them. Because often that suggestion will open up new doors for you, and your creativity will just get in those new doors, and you will discover new things. So this is something that you have to assume. So, as we said, the first mistake is when you fall in love with your first idea, okay? And you want to defend it no matter what, against all odds. And this is a typical mistake I see also between some of the young designers that are today into the design studios, and this is not good, because then what happens? That the management that has to manage all those talents, okay, just like a coaching a soccer team, every soccer team is made of 25 players, okay, 11 go on the field and the other ones are the reserve that will come in and out, okay, during the game or each game. And then you have a coach that had to manage all those personalities. So the ones that are really at the service of the team are those that don't create many problems. They are professionals, they are good players, and they give their part. And in design, it's very similar. You have a manager or a design director or a design project manager, okay, and they are there to help you to produce good ideas, to work well on your projects, and to manage those projects in a way that those projects will go to production, in a way that everybody will be satisfied. In order to do that, you cannot be a stubborn, spoiled kid saying, oh, it's my idea or nothing. You cannot have that attitude. So this means that you must be careful. You have to understand that your ideas, that your creativity, all those things are very important. Unless you will not be into that design team, you probably won't be hired if the company didn't believe that is important. But at the same time, you have to understand that you are living, an experience within a team, and therefore you have to do a teamwork effort. And this many times means that you have to take a part of your ego, a part of your, of your personal characteral attitude, and you have to calm those down a little bit to make sure that the way you will behave within the team, in the relationships you will have with the team, it will be only constructive. That there is a softness in you, that you become a sort of a clay model. When we apply clay with our fingers, we know that if we don't like something, it's enough to push a little bit with our fingers on the clay, and we can change the section or surface. And you should be a little bit like that too. I am not saying that you have to say, no, 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 no. You are asking me not to be myself. No, because I am always myself at work since the beginning for the last 31 years. But there are moments where your head has to think which is the better strategy to make sure that you are very useful, for the project, and at the same time that what you're doing it's positive. Therefore, the management will be very happy with you. And if this means that you have to renounce to some things, well, that's okay, no big deal. What it counts that each one at their own level will take their own responsibilities. They will assume their responsibilities. Is a sketch that is writing something. Me as a student to just enter the internship would think I had to hear, narrow down and be good in one thing, rather than overall examples selecting between 4 or 2-wheeler. Yes, internship is extremely important, and thanks Sketchy for writing that comment, because it's another step of my today's design talk. An internship is your first leg into the real world. As a student, when you make an internship, what is the importance of an internship? The experience, because you will be in front of a real working experience for the first time, even though you are still a student. So can you imagine how much you will learn more than your teachers? Because you will be into a real working environment. Therefore, for you, it's a great opportunity not to throw away. So to do that, when you are doing an internship, that I also did when I was a student, okay? And imagine I have been a tutor for interns in Fiat and in Renault for several years. So I was the guy tutoring the interns, okay, at least in our department. And many people, I spotted people. And the good thing is that few of them we were hired by our company. Because when you make an internship and you do it really, really well, then the company will keep an eye on you, will follow you until you finish school, hoping that you will still improve and come out with an astonishing, amazing portfolio. Teranvir, hi Luciano, what constitutes as a cost-effective design transportation industry? I mean, as a designer, why things have keep in mind while doing a cost-effective car design? Taravin, I would. Can you ask me this question when I will be finished with this topic? I will give you the answer, but please keep it in mind at the end, okay? In about 20 minutes, all right? 20, 30 minutes. After I will finish and I will answer to your questions, all right? Thank you very much. So, must be open to admit experienced minds and eyes. Yes, a good designer, but also good design students, must be curious, open-minded, and don't make this mistake of being stubborn and not humble, okay? Because you have to understand that when you start making your internship, or one day you will work, in front of you, you will have only people with big experience that already seen everything. Believe me. I mean, you can ask me. We could make a design talk about all the things that you have in mind. I will have an answer for every situation that happened to me in 31 years of career. Believe me. So I think that you have to really consider with the great engagement and responsibilities the experience you are doing since school. And when you are in an internship, while you are having your internship, even if people don't look like are not looking at your stuff, or they are not giving too much importance to you because they consider you like a little kid or someone that is there that has zero experience and stuff, they are still looking at you. They probably look at your sketches once you are out. They try to understand the real value that you have in that specific period of your time. And then you might have some people or some managers that go by the tables at night or in the evening and ask, who is this guy? I like this work. So you have to hope that while you were an intern in that company, people don't hate you, but that people love you, of course. And I say this just, it's a caricature, but you understand that it's much better, for anybody, also for me, to work hard, to insist on certain things, because I think on certain things we are right and we have to defend our position. But to do it always being humble and always with a great effort in never forgetting that we are working within a team and that we cannot be stubborn or hard heads even if we are defending our position. Okay, so this was the number one mistake. Now, when you are a designer, okay, you make that mistake, but you can make also another mistake, like the one that because at the beginning of your career you were part of a concept car that was made, was really realized, and went to the show, I don't know, just to say, Geneva show, and all the media said that the car was, concept car was fantastic. Great. I'm very happy. And then you come back after the big show and everybody's happy and stuff, and then you become snobbish because you are the hot star that made the concept car, forgetting that you are very young. Of course, the design management picked up your ideas because you were young and probably you have a very good talent and very good creativity. Therefore, around that new idea, new fresh idea, the design management decides that that's the way to go to make it into a running prototype for the big show in 1 year or in 6 months. That's great. But this does not allow you to become a spoiled, snobbish designer thinking that you are the best of everybody and forget about the rest, That's it doesn't work, because I have some examples that are real examples, and those people, okay, were faced after the concept car to make a production car project, and I found myself as a manager in a situation like this one, and it was a complete disaster because they were so sure that they were the best talent at that moment in the design studio, that even if you show them that what he's doing is not working, because in production cannot work, and therefore discussing together, you sketch together, and you show that there might be another solution to defend your design, your idea, but we need to modify it. The modification that came out after 2 weeks were a few millimeters, which for a manager means a big loss of time on the planning. So you are not just, hypothetically, you are not just putting yourself in difficulties, okay? Because you are not following some changes that are required in order to move on a production project, which is not a concept car project. But you are also stubborn in a way that you don't listen who has more experience to guide you, to help you to solve that problem. So you are creating a big problem. And the biggest problem you are creating, more than the idea that it's not corrected, is that the planning, the project planning, the design planning, with all the activities for which we spend a lot of money, is in danger because we are wasting time. Therefore, you don't understand that your behavior is putting in danger exactly the whole, the whole organization of a full project, which is not made just by you as a designer, but is with managers, modelers, alias modelers, clay modelers, other designers, okay, because we have other designers, it's not just you. And then there is an engineering team that is asking for when do you send me the updates, because we have to make the design studies and technical sections verifications. So there are a lot of people other than just the designer with his great idea. So this is a typical mistake that comes out when somebody is young, very talented, because I don't deny the talent, not at all, but that he is not using his head or her head to be constructive within a team. And this is very important. When you will become a design manager. If you have in front of you a very good design director, you must know that the design director probably will tell you, you know why we choose you as a design manager? Because you bring us solutions, not problems. This is the key. This is really the key element, so that you understand that when we are working in a team, if you bring solutions, we all very happy. Everybody will be happy, from the most important person in the company until the last one. But if you bring problems because of an attitude, not because you're not creative, but because of an attitude, okay, of not making the effort of understanding that to be humble means that every new project, it's a new learning experience. Because take this example. There is a big difference when we make a production project for the same country or the same market. For example, Europe, okay? We know the market, we have all the studies, and the person and the people that are working within the team to make that project are more or less the same people we know every day, day by day, whether they are from product planning, whether they are from engineering department, marketing, design, modeling, whatever. Yes, Dispatch, a good designer must be open to admit experience with minds and eyes, and yes, that's what we were saying before, yeah. And this is one scenario. But today we are all global companies, big companies, global companies. We work with our design studios that are placed in different parts of the world. Take me, for example. I'm working for the Chinese, which is a Renault joint venture. So I'm working with Chinese people. I'm working with an excellent Chinese design studio, which is Renault, with great talents, but they are different in culture, in mentality compared to me, that I'm Italian, or my boss who is Canadian, or other managers that are French people. And we are there to help, the Chinese brand to perform better. And that's why we made the joint venture, okay, so that we can sell better cars and more cars, hopefully, and bringing a part of our culture, okay, of the Renault group culture in that company, which is beautiful. So now, when you understand that there are projects and projects, there are other projects that are very complicated, very complex. So how do you think we all are managing, projects that are made 30,000 kilometers away from here after 11 hours of playing to reach those places, with other people that are not just next to us, but that are working the creativity somewhere else? We travel. Now with the COVID, we cannot travel. Before I was leaving China, now I'm back to France, but it's okay. One thing that I want to say is that when you use your head to be part of a complicated project because of of team members that are from all over, you still can make it because you have to be constructive. So what do you do as a manager? Well, you think about solutions to bring to certain problems that come out in the meetings that we do via video. And sometimes the solutions are the only thing that counts more than the creativity itself, especially when the project is so complex. And now, if you ask me, but is this the best scenario that you wanted to that you wish for yourself? But in my opinion, I would say no, because if it were for me, I would like to be over there, and I would have managed the projects differently, because I would be there, with the real people and not so far away. And a lot of people are working like this now because of the COVID situation. But you have to find the solutions. You cannot be stubborn or can I say, or spoiled. Say, no, but if I make a sketch, but I don't know who will use that sketch, but why? No, sometimes some of the work is done here simply because it's the easiest way to get a faster answer to a small given problem. And then with that's the solution that I have to bring, or we bring, to the other team or on the other side of the world, explaining, and that's how you make the machine move on, and it works. At the end, it works. It might be a little bit complicated at the beginning, but it works. But in order to have all this that it's working, we need people available, available to play the game. And therefore, this means designers, from the creative people that in general they are very nice, to the management, intermediate management, then those that are in a perfect relation between the two worlds, like me in this case. I'll be very elastic, very soft. I mean, I cannot be rigid unless I will be working for some people and not from the others. And this is not something that we can do. The design management, as I said before, has to bring solutions so that people work together well and decision can be taken correctly. Therefore, I will never make the mistake saying, no, guys, if we don't work the way I want, the way I think for the project, I don't want to do it, or I keep on going only for my road, my street, my direction. In this case of an international project, how could I do that? I would be stupid, really stupid, an idiot. Therefore, I have to listen. The most important thing is listen. And also for designers, listen. Open wide your ears, your eyes. Listen to what people say, the critiques that are made. They are constructive, especially when we don't know some markets. I discovered a lot in the past 3 years about the Chinese market than I knew before. Same thing when I was working on some projects in India for Renault Design India. I was going on and off, and when we made the Renault Design Academy India, I remember to be a manager of such a big internship machine, you have to learn a lot in order to organize it in a way that it will be kind of successful. So there is always a moment we must be very humble. And then it's, of course, I understand that each one of us, as I said before, we have our own culture, our own character, all that stuff, and we have to preserve it because nobody wants to become someone else. But the capacity of being a little bit like politics or politicians, to make sure that you can make a mediation, negotiation, okay, in a way that is a win-win negotiation for both parties, is probably the best thing we can do for us, to the team, to the company for which we work. So at the end, we have to think that we are all doing this not just for ourselves, to say, hey, I made the car. Hey, do you like that thing? I did it. It's not that. It's what we are able to do for the company in a positive way. Hi, Method Levert. How you doing? Welcome. So So those are the most common mistakes that sometimes, how can I say, create strong tensions. Okay, when you are a young designer, it's simple because a management can just decide, you know, that after 2 years, 1 year, if you don't listen, well, you know, too bad for you. We don't care. We're gonna hire another one, and very soon you'll understand that you have to go away, or you get fired. And I don't know. In Europe, it's not easy to get fired, but if you are in an American environment, or I don't know, in Russia, or in China, or in other countries, there are different rules on about work and jobs. I think that would be a lot easier to say to somebody, "You're fired," like the classical sentence. Okay, in Europe would be a lot more difficult. But at the same time, this does not mean, okay, that we don't know how to solve the problem, because we know how to solve the problems. It's just that we never think to get to a point where the management has to think what type of actions we have to take for somebody that is really creating only problems, even though probably the creativity and what he produced was not so bad. So the creativity is not 100% the key of your success when you will become a car designer. There is your attitude, there is your head, your culture, your education. There is your being humble, your listening, your will of learning. Really, your will of learning. That's one thing that, for example, in my case, specific case, I always look into young people that are working with me, or for me, or with who I have to do, in terms of projects. The people that listen, it's good, because I am also someone that listens a lot. Someone that has to admit that I made a mistake. People that don't like to say I made a mistake. I say it. Not often, but I say it. I made a mistake. So it's a moment to say sorry to somebody. Excuse me, I made a mistake. Okay, so I think that I gave you an overview of the most common, this is the most common, those are the most common situations sometimes we have to face up in the real world. So the suggestions that I give you, it's really, please, don't get into that bad thing, Don't do it. It's useless. You are in school to learn. You start working, you are in an internship because you learn. You give also, but you learn. You learn too. So this is something that you have to always keep in mind, all right? It's like it's like admitting, also for me at my age, that day by day life, and therefore work environment, it's a continuous learning experience. So nobody has the key solution 100% that will solve, the humanity world problems forever. Nobody. So we have to be able together support each others, so that for each, with the respect of each roles, okay, that we can give a very good positive contribution, so that everything can move on correctly, projects are done well, at the end, in a satisfied way, even if some of our beloved details or stuff are missing, because at the end they were not accepted, okay? Or because it was safer not to accept them, okay? How many times there have been made cars that the markets decided that they were ugly simply because they were too modern for the period they came out. And 10 years later, they're saying, the car was so cool. 10 years later. But when the car came out 10 years before, it was a failure, which means lose a lot of money for any company that had that bad experience. And almost every car company had that experience. So the fear, that a company has at a very high level, and we are talking really super top management, is that there is a risk to run, and in which proportion we can run that risk. Ciao Patricio, ¿cómo estás? Yeah, it's true. There is no age to continue learning. You're right. Exactly. Patricio is part of my sketching online interactive course on Thursdays. So we met yesterday. We were together 2 hours sketching. It was very nice. And from Florida, I mean, good for him. I am in a place where there is always raining and humid like Paris, and he's in Florida. I bet in front of the beach. I mean, I hope for him. Okay. Anyway, now that we said that, the next time Design Talk will be about design management. We'll talk more a little bit about design management. But I would like to go back to the question, the sketchy, that Taranvir, the comment that Taranvir, I hope that he's still there. Taranvir, are you still here with us? Please give us a sign so that we know. Anyway, I will read the comment again. Hi Luciano, what constitutes as a cost-effective design in transportation industry? I mean, as designer, hey, nice to meet you, Kaustub. Ciao. How many years of experience do you have as a car designer? 31. Don't remind me because I am old. Okay. Said that, let me finish to read. I mean, as a designer, why things I have keep in mind while doing a cost-effective, efficient car design? Okay. Basically, you're talking about... okay, you are there. Thanks. So basically, Taranvi, tell me, you are asking about design to cost, right? What does it mean, design to cost? And if it's a very good thing in terms of design strategy to rule a project. Is that? Answer me. Tell me if I understood your question, because your English, there were a few things that were not easy to understand in the way you wrote. As a designer, why things I have to keep in mind while doing a cost-effective? Okay, which are the good things that you have to keep in mind in order to make an efficient design development of a project? Okay, so I will give you what I always done in my professional life, okay? First of all, don't ever forget that to design, which means not to give a style to an object or to a car, but to design means to make a full project from A to Z, from the beginning to the end. And this is done considering not only the design department, which is the creative part, the most creative part of a design project team, but also considering all the engineering problems, the ergonomic problems, marketing problems, product planning request, suppliers request, because every supplier will have their own requests according to their technologies. The technologies we can afford. When I say we can afford, means how much money will cost this project in real life. Therefore, there are some technologies that I can take and some others are too costly, too expensive, that I cannot take. Therefore, we have to take care of all those things, all right? And once we have all that, we know how we can orientate our creativity and what design project strategy we can adopt so that everything is cohesive, all right? I give you an example. There's a big difference if my car in the real market has to cost $10 or $1. If my car costs $1, that means that my budget to make design and also to make engineering and also to make the electric electronics on the car, everything will be smaller than the budget given to a car that can cost $10 on the market. Okay, already this gives you the first big difference between those two worlds. Okay, and then of course there are other projects that are in between. They will cost probably $5. Thank you for teaching us the ethical side. Thanks, dispatchers. I'm really happy you understood what I said with my English, a little spaghetti style, but that the idea went through, that you got the point. Thanks. So now when we talk about what if someone says make a cost-effective concept vehicle for future? Yes, I'm coming to that, Tananvir. I'm coming to that. So often, lately, because of COVID, because of economical situation, almost every car company is saying we had to make the best car with the least amount of money spent, invested. This is it's normal. It's the market is pushing us to do that, and I think that it's human to think like that. It's not that we love strange challenges just because we would like to, we would like to to be crazy and challenge ourselves with things that are very complicated to solve. No. So because we are in this scenario, in this period of time, those years, and what we decide today, it's going to be very important for the next 5, 7, 8 years, because this is more or less what we're talking about in terms of time period, okay? Then we have to be very responsible. What type of orientations we give, Okay, the main orientation comes from the director of the engineering platform, which means the most important person in a project, which is at engineering, okay? And this guy, he has the biggest, budget in his hand for that project. And then that budget, he has to divide it, okay? And give it a little bit to product planning, engineering. It's like a cake that you cut in several slices, and some slices are bigger, some slices are smaller, and so different values, and then design, marketing, and each one of us will receive a budget. Okay, so I have a chunk of money. Now, what do I do with that money? That money, I use that money to make my creative development, my models, my alias models, and get to the point where we will have all the supports 2D and 3D to accept the final design to go to production. After that, engineering and all suppliers will take all that data, and they will develop the data also with my help, of course, because the design will be always there. Therefore, the design manager will continue to work with all of them, but probably not all the other designers that were in the team. Okay, they will move on something else. And for the last year and a half, let's say hypothetically, I will be working, helping engineering and suppliers into the development, because they will still ask me questions. Can we change this? It will be cheaper. Therefore, I have to make an arbitrage. I have to decide, with the help of my boss, or sometimes alone, whether it's wise or not to tell them yes. But what happens before that? We design, so we orientate the creativity, and we pick up ideas, asking some modifications in the very early stage to make sure that it will be very easy to make the front bumper, very easy to make the back bumper, very easy to make the dashboard, not costly, very cheap to make, the seat, and stuff like that. So we give all the orientations, all right, to make sure that the main construction of the whole car, it's not complicated, but easy. Because the easiest means also many times cheaper. Then what we do in terms of making all that stuff looking richer, so that the client, when he gets the product, he gets a quality product, then we will go to a second step of the project where we will start talking, and that's a little bit more politics, pushing the company to put a little bit of extra money on the materials, in the colors, in the trims, in the chromes, in the aluminum, all those materials, and in the technology, maybe in the LED technology, in the connectivity, stuff that, of course, when you put them together, you understand why we can make a car that is a solid car, that does not cost a lot of money, but has a lot of things to offer. So it is the way we make cars that is changed. And this is transversal. I mean, if you take a Ford, a Fiat, I don't know, an American car, you can see the same things, same reasoning is done also by them. Of course, it's not that it's how can I say? It is a normal strategy, okay, a basic strategy that can be adopted by anybody, and then anyone will develop it in a different way according to the company culture and company philosophy. Okay, so I read a few of your design college schools and name matters or our skills. Mars, when we complete our designs education, what is the average time taken to develop a car from an already existing platform construction? Okay, Anish, the answer to you it's around when we have already a platform and we start sketching. If we talk about Europe, India, Europe, 4 years. If we go to China, can be less time. Design college schools name that's Kaustub. Name matters of our skill and creativity matters when we complete our design. I don't understand your question. Kaustub, D136. I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. So what are the main points we have to keep in mind while designing a car for a middle-class society, other than cost? Well, the most important thing while we exercise our creativity is ergonomy. You have to make sure that people can use well your car. Your design it's friendly, that people can sit in a comfortable way. They can go in and out the car because it's a family. There are probably old people that we get into that car and out of that car. Therefore, how do you make your door cuts? Do you make your door cuts like a sports car? Or you make it like a more normal car, so we are sure that no matter the age you have and the problems you have to your backs or to your body, you can go in and out and be comfortable in that car. So dispatches, that's I would say the most important thing is that. Yes, thank you very much. I'm working on a brief and this will definitely help me. Thank you again. Okay, Tanvi, I'm glad you liked my kind of answer. Method Levert, what would you say trends will be for the next 5-10 years? I don't know. About the trends, I don't know. I see only that the COVID virus accelerated a lot the virtual world. And therefore, the virtual world, in my opinion, will have a bigger importance the way we'll develop cars in the future and the way the business will probably change. I mean, like a big college or university. Is it important when we search for our dream jobs as a designer or our skills is more important? No, your skills, costume. Now I understood. When you go to a big college, university for design, and you want to get admitted, what is number one important, it's the skills. Do you sketch already and how well? Because if you sketch zero, you never sketched before, you just have the passion, probably you are not you're not a car designer potential. You're not going to be a car designer. But if you have the strong passion and you sketch every day since you're a child, like a lot of us did, okay, then the school will be looking at your sketches and your talent to give an evaluation of your creativity level, but most of all your talent. And in the real design world, it's the same thing. The best portfolio, the most creative portfolio will win, of course. That's why the competition, the good competition. You have to be good. I'm not good enough. The best. Unless you don't get the job. Okay, Elkama 2183. I mean, guys, with all those numbers, it looks like we are at math school. Hello, Luciano. Yes, it's me. Hi. Nice insight. Thank you. Why do you think the Chinese companies do so many rip-off copycats? Are they afraid to enter? Okay, Elkama, I'll tell you very honestly. Many years ago, I thought like you. I said, Chinese, what they're doing, they're just copying. And there has been a period of time they copied. Even my Tweezy, even the Tweezy has been copied. Then you see the original, the copy, there's a big difference. But when you see in photos, You say, oh shit, it's the same car. They made that copy. Okay. But lately, in the last 5-10 years, especially last 5-7 years, the Chinese are enter already into another dimension, which is not anymore to copy, but to really express the Chinese creativity. If you go to Art Center today, there are lots of Chinese young students, very talented. If you go to the University of Engineering in Shanghai, you will find a lots of talented Chinese students into the design, transportation design department, industrial design department. And if you check the design studios in China, that now I know a little bit because I've lived there, I have friends that are working there, and I have also some European friends, ex-students of mine, that are managers in those studios, and I've been into one also for almost a year. I can tell you that there are lots of Chinese that are expressing an excellent creativity, which is different from ours. And it's good. It's becoming the new generation that will make the real Chinese creative mark in automobile design. It's already started. So today I will not say anymore that the Chinese make just copycats. They won't. Even the small companies, the very small companies that have small business, that work for suppliers like accessories, even to those companies today, you will have probably an European manager that will drive the Chinese young creativity. And that's why, because they are building up an experience where in the future there will be more new generation manager, Chinese managers with talent, and then they will become completely independent in my view. So I think that in 10 years the scenario will change completely. I hope I gave you the right answer. Nice insight. Why do you think? Okay, so I gave your answer. Ben Thompson, I have found OM experience seems to prefer over consultancy. Do you agree? If so, what makes OM experience better? That's a very nice question. I know I already answered this question many years ago. What to do when you are halfway through the project? Do not like the idea design anymore? Make small adjustments or start again? Meet with clients? Okay, I'll try to answer. Okay, I answer first to Ben, all right, and then I'll answer to method. Ben, there is a difference between OM, the big OM, like in my case. Okay, I work for Renault Group. And actually for a joint venture, so it's Renault, but it's another company for which I work. I give my service, all right, in management, design management, and OM. Most of all of them, I have to say today, is all of them, thanks to the design school. So thanks to my generation, okay, all right, they have very excellent design studios, full of people, multicultural, strong talents. The weak people are not hired. The people that don't have a good portfolio will not get in. The people that don't have the right attitude will not get in. Probably if they do, they have short life within the company. So they have design studios that sometimes, in some cases, they are multiplying in other parts of the planets, like for global companies. As you know, Renault has 4 or 5 design studios all over the world. They're all connected according to the markets. And other companies do the same thing, like BMW, for example, just to say few, but also some Chinese. Take Shanghai in China. They have an important design studio in Torino for Europe, and I know they are planning to make a new one. FAW, the Chinese car maker, made a joint venture with, is making a joint venture with Mercedes-Benz, if I don't make a mistake, and they also will move to Italy. So the big OM, they have the budgets, they have the money, they understood that design is so strategic that instead of going to smaller companies for a design creative service, like it used to be in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s in Europe, because there were no design schools, so there were not so many designers around. The designers before were people that had a strong passion, good talent, and they learned how to become designers within the company because someone else was better, and they would learn, together. Or some were so talented, like for example Giulietto Giugiaro, who is a maestro internationally known, even though today he has his age, but come on, guys, the man, you have a lot to learn from this man. He never went to a design school because at his time there was no design school. But if you see the way he paints, the way he sketches, still today, the way he made business and the way he became the most famous designer, independent designer in the world, this shows you that we have some excellent talents. But when we don't have those excellent talents, the many times in the past we didn't know because there were not design schools. Now with the design schools, since 50 years, the Americans started in the early 20s. Art Center, if I don't make a mistake, was born in the art block in Los Angeles in 2000, in 1922, okay, 1922. And it became very quickly a big institution for transportation design. Then we had CCS, then we had Tokyo College of Arts and other schools, and today we have so many schools, so many design schools. So today, little by little, young designers market is being created, and therefore OEMs, what do? They go and search, and I am the first one to do it because I do it for Renault every time I can. Of course, I'm not sleeping. I'm an ex-teacher, so I know how to go and sneak inside schools or Facebook pages or Instagram pages and check if I find some really interesting talents. So. And they go and they get their mercado, like soccer in the soccer field, and they buy the best ones on the market. That's why the competition, students are always in competitions, but not only with their classmates, but with the students from all over the world. Because in the same period, you guys are getting your diploma in the same period. Hey, few of you think about that. But if you think about that, you understand that you have to make twice the efforts you're making in school to be not best, over the best. I don't know how to express myself because the competition is very, very high. When you go and work for a smaller company instead, okay, but the situation is different because the smaller company will be always kind of small. And also, if we analyze already the contract, and the future you can have, we can say that in a smaller company, the best thing you have is the experience of things you learn, because in a smaller company, you can do many things. In a big OM company, you have your, how can I say, your path, your direction is given by the management, and you do that. But when you're in a smaller company, you can change your hat about designing several things and several projects. So the richness of a smaller company, sometimes it's better than a big OM experience. But when we talk about contracts, careers and stuff, of course OM is better. I hope I answered to your question. Kaustub is happy, I'm happy too. What to do when you are half... Okay, method, about your idea. First of all, method, if you are asking the question, if you were a real designer and you arrived already halfway and then you don't like it anymore, you don't have to be worried because your project has been already checked and managed by the managers, the design director, design manager, few other designers, the clay modelers, the alias modelers. So your project is already in a way that everybody likes it. So it's not anymore your problem. Now, if you say that this what you wrote, because you are a student, and therefore you are alone in your room, and you are developing a project, and then you don't like it anymore. That's a big problem. I understand, because you are doing this for school. You are not doing this for a company in which there are other people involved. Therefore, it's a teamwork at the end. But when it's only for you, I can understand that it could be bad. If you have the brilliant idea, yeah, you can change it, of course. Okay, thank you, Ben. I'm glad you liked my answer. So, method, what can I say? It all depends on the time you have left. Now, if, for example, a school project, usually it's 3 or 4 months. My time was 4 months. So if you, after the first month, 1 month, okay, in your planning, because also in school you have planning projects, okay? So if the first month you took a direction and then you don't like it anymore, you are still on time to throw it away and start another one. But you must have the winning one. And if you are at half of the planning time, so you already went through half of your planning time, you are getting into a risky area, because it means that you don't really have enough time to change everything. Then in that case, I suggest just to update, try to improve it. That could be good. You improve it, because then you have the time only left to start your model, whether it's a virtual model or it's a clay model. All right? So that's the best advice I can give you. Anish. Hey, Luciano, I was wondering that if I am an automotive engineer, is there any possible way to get into a car design? Or is it just too late to be a designer then? First of all, Anish, it's very, very hard. Probably 1% of all car designers today, I'm talking about today, and less tomorrow, can switch from automotive engineering into a car design studio. First. Second, you can do it if you did a master in car design. Second. Third, you can do it if your portfolio shows that you are an incredible talent and that being an engineer was a big mistake. But thanks to your master and your portfolio, you were able to recuperate the lost time, and you are ready to present yourself, with an excellent portfolio. Fourth condition, if you are young, because if you are 28, 29 or 30 years old, you cannot make it, because in OM company, how can they put you 30 years old or 28 next to people that are 23 as a junior designer? It's impossible. It's an HR personal department problem, according to how much you are paid, according to your age, according to your degrees, according to your level in the company, all that stuff. I hope I answered to you. Okay, so Anish, tell me, what is your age? Tell me your age. I'm very curious. Ben, method, if the company approved the design for the product, which I imagine you're sort of a freelancer or you're working for a company where your client is already satisfied, then you stop, all right? Don't be stubborn. Remember what I said at the beginning. Don't be stubborn. The client is happy, they are paying, it's anyway your studio work, then let it go. Just go until you go to production. Listen to me. We'll have to continue with 3D modeling and make peace with design. Yes, that's what I think you should do. Stay in peace with the design expressed. If the client is happy, the client has all the justification about his market to be sure that it's going to be a good product. So don't worry. Don't be stubborn. Remember, be humble. You are not Giugiaro. Giugiaro could say to clients, you are making a mistake, but you are not. When you will have that experience, it's okay. I'm currently only, Anish, you are 16 years old, but you are perfect. Don't go to engineering, just go to design school. Just do design, forget engineering. I tell you, because bachelor in car design or transportation design is the only thing you can do well for yourself to invest on your future in the correct way to become a car designer. It's the only thing, believe me. So, you are 16, that's great. I'm saving a life. I'm saving a future designer from the disaster of being an engineer, going to a master, and then become a jobless, spending money. I don't know, Anish, if you understand what I said. I hope you did. You should talk to your parents and tell your parents to see this video, because parents are very important. I'm serious now. Without my parents, I could never become a car designer, because the decision was very important. I had to leave my country. It was early 1980s. 80s. You were not born yet. At that time, there was no internet, nothing. All right? So that was the first trip I did in my life on a plane to go to US. All right? So it's a big, huge, important question whether you're going to go to a car design school or not. But it's also an investment on your future. So if you are 16 years old and you are working already, sketching like crazy because you really love it, and you are looking at yourself that you are doing good things, all right, then why not? Why not to try? If this is your real passion. Now, your parents at the beginning will tell you, no, you have to go to engineering. Because if you are from India, where I think you are, they will tell you to go to engineering, and then after engineering, we will see what you can do. You can do a master or something. That's the best way to destroy your opportunity to be a real car designer, because car design needs at least between 3 and 4 years of a full bachelor program, where you learn every year the very important basics to become a car designer. You will have many teachers. If you do a master of 1 year or 2 years after engineering, you will not do, how can I say, you will have hard time, because you're already formatted as an engineer, and that's already not good to use the creativity. Let me tell you, because I work with engineers since 31 years, even with young ones. And second, you will not have enough time to learn and improve your skills. That's the difference. So you should show this video to your parents, to this part. Maybe they will tell you that I'm wrong. Okay, and we will accept that. But the first step is show them this, okay? Because I am 57 years old, and about my job and my career and what I saw in 11 years as a teacher in car design schools, I taught in 3 different design schools, I know what I'm talking about, okay? And if you're from India, you can always talk to them about the Renault Design Academy India that I made 3 years ago, which was a very successful international internship done for India. And that's another good example why we took only students from car design schools and no people that made masters or engineers. Okay, so sir, can you suggest me some affordable best design school or college? Kaustub, where are you from? Kaustub D136. I'm talking to numbers. Number D136. Please tell me, let me know. Okay, tell me in which country are you. I will answer to you. Vedant Deshmukh. Vedant. I'm 27, preparing for design, interested in engineering background too, but I have huge passion for design. No, but I understand, Vedant. You can try. You have to try. I'm not saying you cannot try. Okay, you are from India. Okay, I will answer to you. I'm just giving the words to Vedant. I understand, but I want you to be conscious about what I said, because that's a real part of the reality. So you have to be prepared, okay? This means that you are 27, good. You will finish when you will be 28, great. But your portfolio has to be amazing, has to be at the same level of a student of a bachelor that comes out after 3 years. If you are able to do that, then that's great. You probably will make it. Okay, Kaustubh, India, Bangalore. Go and check Strat College, Bangalore. In India, for me, that's the best school, okay? No other one. Then you have also NID, N-I-D. I don't remember the name of the town, but that's a very important one, but that's only for a master, if I don't make a mistake. But in India, if you want something that is a little bit European and Indian at the same time, Strat College in, wait, I'll write to you here, okay? I'll write, okay? Strat College, Bangalore. You will find on the internet. Okay. Thank you, Method. You are just saying exactly the same thing I was saying, and you found probably better words than me. See the Renault internship program again anytime soon. Pratik, Shavan. At the moment, it's a little bit complicated because with the COVID, and also because we changed all our top managers. As you know, we have a new president. We are very happy to have. We also have new bosses about the different brands. So we are in a period where we are concentrated more in organizing ourselves better to be much more efficient, and the time is short. But I think that, of course, I think that the internship program, once the COVID it's finished or almost finished, it will be much easier, believe me. Okay. Out of India, okay, Kaustubh, out of India, in Turin, okay, or EAD in Turin, those are for bachelor, okay? Those two schools are for bachelor. But if you want to find master, find this one, SPD Milan, okay, in Torino. And I suggest to contact this guy, this designer who is excellent on Instagram, okay? On Instagram, you find him. And he teaches there. Therefore, you will see that he will give you excellent advices to make sure that you can make the best choices, okay? Then, of course, you have ACCD, Art Center in California, USA, okay? Or CCS, Detroit, USA. But they are very expensive, huh? I'll tell you, they are very expensive. Then you have Umeå in Sweden. And this one is very good one. Those are the schools. Then you have Pforzheim. Okay, good. And then you have Pforzheim. But Pforzheim does not take engineers. Pforzheim is only for people that come from car design schools to make a master or to start a bachelor. It's called like this. Pforzheim Schule, Germany. Okay, go and check on Google. You will find all the information. Okay, guys, I think that I said it all. I answered to all your questions. If there is another question, please tell me now, just in case you want to be part of my sketching interactive course online. Okay, write to me via email, which is this one. Okay, so here you have my email, just in case you want to be part of my course. Okay, I'll tell you very simply that it costs $5 for 2 hours on my PayPal account, which is very simple. It's very cheap. So just in case you want to sketch with me. Anyway, where is that guy of 16 years old? Mr. Anish, if you are still there, if you want to sketch with me, you should consider really to try at least once for $5, tell your parents to be part with my sketching course online, and I can teach you some things, see your sketches, and let's see how you respond. Maybe this could be a test for you, okay? So you decide. I'm currently working for a startup company which is making electric motorcycle. That's very nice. That's a Mukit. I'm managing a lot of work as a single person and gets difficult managing the requirements of the client. I know, welcome to the club. Do you think that it is easy for me to manage between China, France, who knows where? That's management. Management is problem solving. So you have to work hard to solve problems. They ask for things which do not seem feasible from my point of view, and I put it across to them, but they still want to go head for it. I still just accept and go ahead what they're asking for? Well, in that case, you know what you do? First of all, if the feasibility is not possible because there is not the technology, or because there is, I don't know, in your products an undercut, therefore the tooling cannot come open and stuff like that, explain that to them. So it's a question, it's a technical question. But if the feasibility is a question of money, I can do it, but the technology I have to use or the material I have to use, it's more expensive, make a quotation. I do it as you like, and this is the extra cost. Now you are the client, you have to decide. You have to give me the okay if I can go on or I stop. That's the best way in order that everybody will assume their own responsibility according to their role, okay, in the project. I hope I helped you. No, but Anish, this is my email. Look, I write it again, okay? Send me one of your sketches, okay? I want to help you. You are 16 years old. I mean, at your age, I really didn't have any opportunity to reach any car designers. I was in the South Italy, and believe me, I didn't know that car design was a profession. It was so hard for me to discover. Now you have me that decided to be the good guy coming back from United States to Italy to share as much as I can every single day my experience to help people just like you, more than older people. So write to me. Don't worry about the perspective and stuff, because I will teach you that. I can teach you that. I teach that already. Follow my live session every Tuesday, okay? Don't forget, guys, Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. in India, okay? Come here on YouTube on my channel. I'll be live sketching. So Anish, be there Tuesday. If you really have the passion, be there and see what I do. And try to do the same thing. And then send me one of your sketches so that I can give you a correction. I send it to you so that you understand. And if you want to do the interactive online course, you can make a test for 2 hours. And if you don't like it anymore, you are free to say next time I don't come, and that's fine. Friends as before. But what I want to say is that if you have an opportunity, try not to lose it, not to waste it. Okay, so sir, how to start sketching? I always feel that I can sketch. Aryan Kumar, same thing. Follow my live sketching on Tuesday, and you will see how I do. If you want to follow my online session sketching, interactive sketching lesson via Google Meet, okay, we have this $5 to pay, all right, but you pay 2 hours of section with me. Pforzheim is excellent, Sam. Pforzheim is hard and excellent. I would say it's almost like Art Center in Europe. Okay, good, Anish. I really hope that to hear from you. Great. Okay, so I was answering to Okay, start sketching. Anyway, to start sketching, I'm not gonna make the demo here because this is a design talk. But you can check when Tuesday I will be working live with our sketching cars live together, which I think is starting really to be very well appreciated. And you will see how I do, how I start. I bought also a new camera, you know. I will show you guys. I got this new camera because with this one I can really put correctly on top of me, on top of my drawing, and it's really working well. Already tried during my sketching lessons. Therefore, I don't use anymore my telephone, and believe me, it's much more practical, and I can offer a better service. All right. Okay. You're welcome, Aryan. You're welcome. Okay, guys, I think we said it all. Now it's 7:30 in the evening here. I think I'm ready to go and think about my dinner. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really hope you enjoyed. So if you agree, I would be here every Friday just to have a talk with you. Okay, we'll do just design talks, open discussions. Okay, I will bring a subject, and then I'll be back, and then I will answer to all your questions. Ciao, Frederick. Come va? I'm doing really well, thanks. Did you just arrived or you followed from the beginning or a half? Anyway, every Friday I will be here. Let me know if you like the idea. You are 25. Write me a yes. Some of you, so that if I see there are lots of yes on Fridays, I'll be here on a regular basis, okay? Or I will just record some videos instead of being live. But I think that live is better because it's more interactive. I can feel you better, you know. Okay, good. Well, thank you very much, guys. I hope that next Friday you will be here. Same time, okay? 6 o'clock in the afternoon in France, and I believe in India should be 9:30 if I don't make a mistake. 9 o'clock in the morning in California, probably 12 o'clock in Florida, if I don't make mistakes with the timing, okay? So the 6 o'clock, this time probably it's better. Okay. Yes, Thursday, every Thursday, Frederick, every Thursday I will be there, and if you will be part, don't forget your donation. You will be in the list, of course. Frederick, do you have my email? Because I don't remember I have you in my email list for Thursday interactive sketching section class. So just in case, here, go and check the chat. I put my email several times. Oh, ciao, Javier. Javier Lopez Bauer. Okay, thank you very much. Javier. Peru. Yes. And in Peru, it's 13:23. Cool. Okay. Thanks. So I have also about Peru. I didn't know that I had somebody from Peru today. But you know, there is a guy that is following my interactive sketching session on Thursday. That he's from Peru, and it's very nice. Okay, good, Fred, good. How do you know so much about Indian design school? Just good, because I have this YouTube channel and lucianobove.com, which is my website. That lately I'm not I'm not writing too much on it, but anyway, and then Instagram, and since many years. And a lot of people from India start following me because many years ago I was one of the few car designers online talking about car design and sketching. Now there are several others, and I'm very happy about that because I think that the car design community I used to show more, okay, and help young people like you. And therefore, I was a little bit known. Then I was, with my company, asked to do some cooperations with Renault Design India in Chennai. And therefore, for a few years, I was there. And I also organized the Renault Design India Academy, which was an internship program for Indian students from car design schools, from which we choose only 4, the best 4, after an online selection. We were on Facebook. We used to make live episodes from the design center in Chennai. They made 4 projects and a full-scale model that was presented in 2018 at the New Delhi Auto Show. And this you can find on internet, the Car Design India Academy. Luciano Bove, you put on Google, you will find the information. Okay? Okay, good. Ciao, guys. I was very, very happy to be with you. And see you next Friday, same time. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. Bye.